All this time you have been on my mind, and all the reasons why we're still in love. Days go by, flowers they bloom and die, all the while you and I, we're still in love. You make my dreams come alive. You make my whole world alright. You're always there, wanting the best for me. I think it's clear to see we're still in love. My best friend holding my hand again until the very end. We're still in love.
Hello. Well, the first thing we got to do, I started yesterday going back to the beginning of the Sebastian Rogers case because I came into the case late summer. It was after the Quentin Simon case, or during the Quentin Simon case. And then I think I found Clutch Them Pearls, and from Clutch Them Pearls I ended up finding AWBJ, and I found several creators that I was following, but I backed off and I'm only subscribed to one channel. I do from time to time see something that interests me on another channel and I'll watch it. Like this morning, after AWBJ went off the air, another one that I'd never heard of. I mean, I'd heard the name, but I had never had interest in going to find out anything about it or anything. And it was something called Brittany Dumplin or something. Her name's Brittany, but she spells her name differently than AWBJ Brittany does. And I could only listen to that one for a couple of minutes. Of course, they were having a storm, so they were talking about the storm. But the people in the chat, she shows right on the side over here, you can see her chat rolling. And I think it's because she uses Restream she mentioned it. She uses Restream instead of StreamYard, so her chat scrolls right over here. And but there were people in her chat that had been in Brittany's chat, and then they were talking about Brittany. And I said, "Oh no, I'm not even gonna, and I'm not gonna name names because that's just wrong. They know who they are." But yeah, I don't care. Brittany doesn't care where you go. Just don't talk trash about her. And that's the way I feel. I don't care if you watch my channel. If you go watch somebody else's channel, I expect you to go watch other people's channel. Just please don't talk trash about me, because I'm doing the best I can at trying to learn how to do this. So anyway, let's go back to where we started. Yesterday, I started clear back at the beginning, the day that Sebastian Rogers went missing, and I made it up until April 17th. And I kind of left a cliffhanger there because that was right when Seth had hired 2 private investigators, and he was wanting the FBI to take over. He did a poll or something to try to get FBI to take over the case. And then I left you hanging because I'd been here over 2 hours. So we're going to go back into it, and today we're going to start with April 26th. But first of all, I have to put up the fair use disclaimer because this is for educational purposes only. We're not trying to accuse anybody of anything. So there's the fair use. And then over here is that everything is as best as we know it to be fact, but we don't have proof unless we can see actual proof from it. And it's where it also asks to please be friendly and that sort of stuff. I don't have to read it to you every single time. That's what it says. You all know what it says. There's no sense in me reading it. Okay. So let me put on a little bit of music here because there are videos here. So I want to turn my music clear down. Some of the videos, the audio's not too loud on it. Hello, whoever is visiting in chat, please hit the thumbs up, even if you don't speak. Okay, so I'm gonna share screen, and the links to all these sites are in my description, but I'll go ahead and stick it up here. Now it is in chat. Did I only go live on one channel? What did I do? There we go. Now I should be live. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get over this, but it seems like it's trying to come back to me. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Here's the link to where we are at NewsNation. All right. So, let's play this video.
Sebastian's father, and Heather Cohen, a private investigator who is now working with him on the case. Thank you both for joining us. Seth, I have to start with you. First of all, I can't imagine being in your shoes. I'm so sorry that you're experiencing this, and I'm grateful that you're joining us tonight. I think our viewers need to understand Sebastian was not physically in the home with you. You are no longer married to his mother, but I just want to check in with you, see how you're doing, and if you know anything tonight that you can share with us.
Just know that he's still missing. I know that there's been really no leads that have been shared with me by law enforcement.
When you say there's no leads, are you working with law enforcement? Are they communicating with you?
Not communicating with me. If they're communicating with anybody, it would be my private investigator.
Hello, I can see that there are 2 people in chat. Please hit the thumbs up while you're there.
Okay, Heather, I want to weave you into the conversation. You started working with Seth. Why are you working with Seth, and what can you tell us so far?
Well, I had received several phone calls, people asking me to get involved in the case, but I wouldn't do it until I was invited in by a family member or law enforcement. And I did end up getting that phone call. A friend of mine said they had talked to Seth and he was looking for somebody, a PI to hire, and he had referred me. So I called Seth and here we are. That was about 2 weeks ago. And yes, law enforcement was standoffish at first with me. And I think that's just because, they had some, Seth can be hard to deal with because he's going through a lot right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of trauma. So what can you tell us so far about your investigation? What have you learned? What were the circumstances of the home, of his mother, of his stepdad, the thud that they heard?
Well, I can tell you that from my investigation, I believe that this is a domino effect of events. I believe that we have to go all the way back to probably December and January are going to be key months. There are a lot of events. There was a lot of turmoil surrounding Sebastian. We know that Chris Proudfoot was in the middle of a custody battle with his ex-wife. We know that the daughter did visit over Christmas break. We know that Sebastian was with Seth during that time. We know that that there was a DCS referral in, I believe, February to the Stafford home. That call was likely determined to be unfounded because the case was closed and that file is restricted at this time. I know Seth has tried to find out more about that call and he has been unsuccessful in doing so. But I've also recently learned that there may have been some talk about Chris leaving Katie. And I feel that probably had something to do with Sebastian. So there may have been some trouble in paradise. To me, these are all things that need to be considered. Could these things have led up to maybe Sebastian just feeling a certain kind of way and leaving? You know, if he overheard a conversation between Chris and Katie where Chris is saying he can't deal with it anymore, he's out, whatever, you know, that could have been motivation for Sebastian to just leave.
Seth, I want to bring you back into the conversation. Was Sebastian safe at his mother's home?
I've heard some things. I have mixed feelings about that.
Were you addressing it with your former wife?
Information that has been brought to my attention has been information received since Sebastian has left.
And the morning after he left, what happened in the home? Can you answer that?
I know that I received a phone call on my cell phone that I didn't get until I got off of work. Everything else would be law enforcement or speaking to Chris Proudfoot to figure out what happened.
Healthcare. It's so
I'm
outdated.
sorry, the
Time for
commercial.
change.
At Oak Street Health, we're changing what it means to get older by focusing on keeping you healthy.
I just made this appointment yesterday.
Now that's more like it.
Here, every member of your team works together to manage all your healthcare needs.
Well, out with the old way of
I
aging
can't afford to
And
buy
in
that
The new.
premium thing.
We specialize in caring for older adults like
I can't afford to buy the premium thing that says that we have to. Oh, I guess the show's over. All right. So what we learned there is that Seth had the private investigator, Miss Heather Cohen, and she found out about a CPS report, or a couple of them, and Seth didn't know about all the trouble that was happening. Apparently, air quotes, trouble that Sebastian was dealing with at his mother's house. I'm sure in my heart of hearts that if Seth had known all of it before, then he would have made sure that Sebastian was with him a lot more often, and with his mother less often. That's what I feel in my heart. Now, I don't know. I'm not there. I've never spoken with Mr. Rogers. I pray for Mr. Rogers and for Sebastian's safe return home. Okay, the next we're going to go from News Channel 4. And this is WSMV News Channel 4. Let me try to put a link on here in my... the link is in my description. Hey, Justice Jane. Thank you for being here. All right. Let me go to this one. And this is News Channel 4. And the date on this is going to be April 26th. It says, we pray Sebastian Rogers' parents hopeful after FBI's reward announcement. Am I on the right channel? No, this is August. I'm on the wrong channel. Hold on. Hold on, please. Let me stop sharing the screen and figure out which screen I need to be on. It's NewsNation. I got my lines out of order. NewsNation, Sebastian Domino, and then the next one is the 29th, the FBI reward. I don't know how that's showing. It's published the 26th. Of August. Okay, well, we'll go with it. We may be out of order, and if we are, I'm so sorry about that. Okay, Hendersonville, Tennessee, as of 6 months, at the 6 month mark, which is not. Yeah, we're not even in August yet. We're not going to go there. Okay. I'm going to go to the next. The 429 is FBI reward. I think I've got them in backwards. Okay. This is still WSM Channel 4. And it says, Sebastian Rogers still missing after 3 months. And this is a video. If it'll...
It's now been 3 months since Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his mother's home in Sumner County. There's still no trace of the missing 15-year-old. but his father wants the FBI to get involved. More than 18,000 people have signed an online petition created by Seth Rogers calling for the FBI to take over the case. Sebastian was last seen in February. His mother believes the teen, who has autism, walked away from her home in the middle of the night. Authorities have searched the area several times, but there's no sign of Sebastian, and he hasn't been seen on any surveillance cameras. The Sumner County Sheriff's
Justice Jane says, I just watched Silver's on the scene. He is actually at Drake River near Sebastian's school, which is about 2 miles away from their house. And then she says, where is this young man? Dear Lord, I pray there are some answers soon. Justice Jane, I pray for answers as well. I didn't come into the case until after or during the Quentin Simon case, so that was late summer. So I missed everything for 4 or 5 months of Sebastian. And I'm trying to go through only what I'm finding on news sources before I go through what is on through content creators on YouTube. Not because I don't trust content creators, but because I formed an opinion in my head from the little bit I know since late summer. I formed an opinion in my head, and I want to know if it's my opinion or am I following somebody else's opinion. So I thought in order to get my own opinion, I'd go back to the beginning and try to find all the news source information that I can from the beginning, rather than just listening to what content creators are stating on YouTube. And then I'll go back and look at what the content creators are saying, and I'll try to see if I can piece the pieces together to make sure that it's, because you've played that game as a child where, like, what was it, hot potato or something, where we all held it was like a bean bag and we sat in a circle, and I would tell the next person something, and then they'd tell the person next to them, and by the time it got all the way back around to me, it was totally different from what I started out with. And I want to make sure that I'm not getting stuck in that situation. I have an opinion, I have a theory, but is it really my theory, or is it just from what I pieced together listening to content creators? So I thought I'd go back to the beginning and try to see what I could know. So, but I wish I knew where Sebastian was. I know my husband was boots on the ground in Laverne, Tennessee last week. He was, that's just a few miles outside of Nashville, and he was checking in the train yard areas. And of course, he didn't find Sebastian. But he has a hobby of photography. And I said, if you're going to go out and take pictures and you're that close to where Sebastian went missing, I said, look for Sebastian while you're out there. So he was out there, boots on the ground, kind of doing two things at one time.
The sheriff's office says they have a detective working on the case every day.
A week after.
Oh, I'm sorry, those commercials are so loud.
Showing a baby girl entering the world as the W train entered the Herald Square station captured a moment that's being described tonight as a little miracle on 34th Street.
Definitely. This is not the right show. I guess the Sebastian part was over and it went to something else. Okay, well, I'm sorry about that. Excuse me for coughing. I'm trying to get over whatever this is. I thought I was over it, and then today it just came back with a vengeance. Okay, the next we're going to go to No, that's not the right date. What date is this? This one is, where did it go? This one is June 5th. We don't want that date. This one's May 17th. This one is, do I have a date? Why are there commercials and stuff stuck on my page? What date was this one? February 16th. All right, I guess we're going to pop back to February and pick up a piece of information. It says it was done on May 3rd. Okay. So, yeah, this is the one we want. May 3rd. And I'll put the link in here from Crimeonline. The links are in my description, but just for fair use, there's Crimeonline, and let's listen to, it says, Sebastian Rogers' pants found amid ongoing search do not belong to autistic teen missing since February. Teen officials said on Wednesday that a pair of pants discovered earlier that day did not belong to the missing teen Sebastian Rogers. Sumner County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy Eric Craddock said that the Goodlettsville Police Department found a pair of pants that they believed was possibly related to Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. Officials did not disclose where exactly the pants were found, but Craddock said they do not belong to Rogers 15, according to the Tennessean. Let's click this link and see if it takes us anywhere. Well, I guess that's just the same thing that we saw. So we'll go back to where we were. What did I do? Okay, now we're going to listen up. Come on.
February 26th, Monday morning, 6 a.m. From everything we can tell, that is the moment that Sebastian's mom and stepdad realize he's gone. For just one moment, imagine that. You go in your child's room where you find your child every single school day morning and you wake them up, but at 6 a.m., he's not there. Can you imagine what must have gone through their minds? First of all, I want you to hear what his bio mom, Katie Proudfoot, says. Listen.
When I woke him up for school, he wasn't there. I took a second and walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up and was trying to get breakfast or something, because he did that sometimes. About 3 minutes in, give or take, I was on the phone with my husband. I said, can't find him. He said, what do you mean you can't find him? I said, he's not in the house.
Can't find him. Where is he? And in the last days, we learned that the official law enforcement search is actually scaling back. This as TikTokers and YouTubers are flooding the area, conducting their own searches. Listen to Eric Craddock, Chief Deputy, Sumner County Sheriff's.
Really wanted to come to the community and ask for your help. We need you to search your properties every day, morning and night. If there's a shed or a crawl space or up under your mobile home or a tarp that's in your yard, check it every morning and check it every night. Look for any details that something has been disturbed. If there's a shirt that was there today that wasn't there yesterday, notify us. You can really help us by searching your own property twice a day. Like I said, we're operating under the assumption that Sebastian walked off, and we really need your help to ensure that he is brought home safely.
We are trying to determine what happened when this young boy, an autistic young boy, seemingly walks out of his own home in the middle of the night, we think, barefoot.
Yesterday, I made the point that, yes, Sebastian Rogers does have autism. He was diagnosed 7 months before he went missing. So his family was still learning what autism was for him. And his new medications that they put him on, he was still trying to get adjusted to them. So it's not the same kind of having autism as if he was diagnosed with it as a young child and being raised as an autistic child. He found out, his family found out 7 months before he went missing. So to me, in my heart of hearts, it is a disrespect to Sebastian to call him autistic, because autism was something that was new to him. And it's not fair to label him that way, in my opinion.
How did that happen? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Crime Stories and on SiriusXM 111. We've read a lot online. We've seen a lot of theories, a lot of speculation. But let's start with what we know to be true. Joining me right now, an all-star panel. But first, I'm going to go to two special guests joining us, Katie and Chris Proudfoot. This is Sebastian's biological mother and his stepfather, who were in their home with Sebastian when he goes missing. To both of the Proudfoots, thank you for being with us. I want to go straight back to when Sebastian goes missing. Miss Proudfoot, I understand that the day before, which would have been Sunday, if I've got the information correct, that you guys went out, you went to dinner, you went to somewhere, I believe you said BJ's, where he had a, quote, colossal popcorn. Then you came home that night, and around 9 p.m., you tell Sebastian to go to bed. He says, okay, he goes to his room. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That night, I understand from previous statements you've made that you went to bed around midnight. Is that correct?
It is.
And to you, Mr. Proudfoot, Chris Proudfoot, did you also go to bed at midnight or before or after?
No, ma'am. We went to bed around the same time because we were on the phone together.
And
He was not home.
please excuse any of my questions. I'm simply trying to find out more about that night. Do you two sleep in the same bedroom?
He wasn't actually in the home at all that weekend.
You were not home?
No,
okay.
ma'am.
So where were you, Mr. Proudfoot?
I was in Memphis, Tennessee.
How far away is that?
3 hours and 37 minutes from doorstep to doorstep.
And what were you doing in Memphis?
Working.
Where do you work?
I'm currently working, or was working, at the St. Jude Children's Hospital construction project.
Yes, I'm very familiar with St. Jude's. You said you were working there. Are you no longer working there?
Right now, that's up in the air.
Well, you've been gone ever since Sebastian went missing, so I understand. When you are home, do you two sleep in the same bedroom?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this a 3-bedroom home?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is your room as it relates to Sebastian's room?
It's on the opposite end of the house. The master bedroom's on one side, and the other 2 bedrooms are on the other side of the house.
Okay, so your master bedroom is on one side of the house and Sebastian's room is on the other side of the house. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you have a third bedroom that I believe you keep for your other daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that Faith? Is your other daughter named Faith?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where is Faith's bedroom as it relates to Sebastian's bedroom?
It's in the back side of the house. Sebastian's bedroom is
So
in the
it's-
front side of the house.
Okay. So his bedroom is away from Faith's bedroom and away from your master bedroom. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Sebastian's room on a top floor or a ground level?
We have a ranch style house. It's a 1.5 story. So everything is flat, and then you have the bonus room above the garage.
Okay. So his is on ground floor, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That morning, was there any sign of a break-in through a window, a front door, a back door, a sliding glass door, anything at all?
No, ma'am.
Okay. No sign of forced entry. Was anything taken from the home at all?
Not that we could find anything. We couldn't find anything missing.
I want to circle back to Sebastian's shoes regarding if anything was missing. Do you have a burglar alarm?
No, ma'am.
Do you have a Ring doorbell cam?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have the two of you taken a polygraph?
I have.
I have not.
Would you be willing to?
I've offered and volunteered on many occasions to take a polygraph, and I was told directly by law enforcement because of my whereabouts, I did not need one.
I understand. Ms. Proudfoot, did you pass your polygraph?
I did.
Those questions out of the way. Was Faith in the home when Sebastian went missing?
No.
No, ma'am.
Does anyone else have a key to your home beside your immediate family?
No.
No, ma'am.
That night, Miss Proudfoot, at midnight when you went to bed, what did you do until midnight?
I had been reading a chapter that I needed to, and I had been talking to my husband on the phone. I was falling asleep on him, so that's when he told me it was around midnight. He told me to go ahead and put the dogs up and go to bed, and that's what I did. I got up, put the dogs where they.
If it's out in the driveway where people can see it, why is that privileged information?
We just don't have permission from her company to divulge that information.
Toward your house? Could they pick that up?
They do, but it's so dark that they can only see it. After it gets so dark at night, they can only see certain things where there's light.
I thought there were the two lights on.
On the opposite side of the house.
Okay. Can we talk about Sebastian's shoes? Why are you convinced Sebastian left without shoes on? Or are you?
Well, the reason that came about is because all of his shoes are accounted for inside the house still.
Are you positive?
I'm positive.
How do you know what clothes he was wearing?
The clothes that we described are the ones I saw him in when he went to bed.
That morning, you woke up at 6 o'clock. Is that the normal time you wake up?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a heavy sleeper?
Off and on.
Do you take any medication at night that would make you sleep?
No, ma'am.
But you heard nothing.
I did not know.
So we know he is alive and well at 10 p.m. At 6 a.m. He's gone. You say he's never left before. Is that right?
Correct. He's never run off before.
And could I confirm, where was his bio dad at the time he went missing?
I believe he was at work in Nashville.
Had there been any family argument or altercation prior to him going missing?
No, ma'am.
And Mr. Profit, when did you leave town?
Early February.
So you had been gone for days before he went missing. Is that correct?
Correct, ma'am.
Had you visited home since you left?
You said from when I initially left?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I came home February 26th, the morning I was told that he was missing.
From the time that you left for the job in Memphis to February 26th, did you visit the home?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
I was home. I can't give exact dates. Law enforcement has told me not to provide exact dates, but I had been home multiple times prior to February.
Okay, that right there, I'm going to do another. I was writing it down as he was telling it to Miss Nancy Grace. She asked him, since he left for work, had he been home to visit? And he said, yes, he had visited since he left home. Then she said, since early February, have you been home? And he said, yes. So he answered twice that he had been home, but the second time he tried to change it and say that, I'll back it up. Let you hear it.
Mulch and bushes.
Did you say mulch or mush?
Mulch.
Mulch.
Mulch. Okay. Got it. Has he ever gone out the window before?
No, ma'am.
Is his room on the positive?
I'm positive.
So you had been gone for days before he went missing. Is that correct?
Correct, ma'am.
Had you visited home since you left?
This is number one.
You said from when I initially left?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I came home February 26th, the morning I was told that he was missing.
From the time that you left for the job in Memphis to February 26th, did you visit the home?
Yes, ma'am.
See, that's twice. Twice. He said yes to the same question. Now he's going to try to change his story.
When?
I was home. I can't give exact dates. Law enforcement has told me not to provide exact dates, but I had been home multiple times prior to February. And then I left early February and then didn't come back till February 26th, the morning he was missing.
Okay, right there. He said, I came back February 26th, the morning he went missing. Okay. From what I understand, he worked until 11 o'clock at the St. Jude Project. So he wouldn't have gotten home until at least 1 or 1:30 after he was relieved from his job at the St. Jude Project. So unless he had been home and went back to Memphis, there's no way he could have been home to see Sebastian that morning. I'm just saying, it's just a theory. I'm trying to figure things out.
So you were not home from the time you left early February till Feb 26. Is that right?
Correct, ma'am.
Where were you living in Memphis?
I have an RV trailer that I stay in at an RV park.
RV park. Okay. Following back up on that morning, you search the home, Ms. Proudfoot. Then you get in your vehicle and you start searching. Did Sebastian know how to drive?
No, ma'am.
Was your car in the same location when you woke up that morning as it was the night before?
Yes, ma'am.
Has your car been searched by police?
Multiple times. Yes, ma'am.
Have scent dogs looked at your car?
Yes, ma'am.
So your car's in the same place. You get in the car, you start looking in the neighborhood for him. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you call Mr. Proudfoot, right?
I believe I was already on the phone with him at that point.
Okay. Question. Who called 911?
I did.
You did.
No, he didn't. Nobody called 911. If he was in Memphis, as he says he was, if he was in Memphis that morning, and if he had dialed 911 from his phone, he would have gotten the Memphis Police Department. And then they'd have had to transfer him to the police department in Hendersonville. And then they would have said, well, you need to go to Sumner County. So then they would have transferred him over to Sumner County. So what Chris actually did was bypassed all the transfers and called directly to Sumner County Sheriff's Office because he has friends in Sumner County Sheriff's Department. And he knew the phone number or had it in his phone, or I don't know how that works. But he called straight to the sheriff's department and to make the call to report Sebastian missing, rather than being transferred all the way through. So I can understand that. I cannot understand, even though they say Katie was distraught and upset, if she was collected enough to be able to drive around the neighborhood, she should have been collected enough to be able to call 911 from where she was sitting at home. Because in an emergency like this, they're trained to handle the calls that it would be of a frantic parent whose child has gone missing in the middle of the night. They're trained to handle that.
Yes,
what
ma'am.
time?
Without looking at a call log, I can't give you the exact time, but on or about 6:20.
And had you guys been talking on the phone before 6 a.m. or did you initially call Mr. Proudfoot at the time you realized Sebastian was gone?
I called him when I realized Sebastian was gone.
Have you guys been out looking for Sebastian?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
To the best of my knowledge, I'm going to say BS. But I haven't been there. I don't live in their home. I do not know these folks from Adam. But from what I've heard, they have not gone out and done very many searches. I've understood that they've been a hindrance towards people who do search. So I don't know the answer to that question. I just, in my own heart of hearts, I don't believe they've been out doing as much searching as Seth has. I just don't.
We're given information that you guys have left the home. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
I'm going back to work.
You're going back to work. What about you, Miss Proudfoot?
No, I'm not going back to work. Not yet, at least.
Did you leave the home also, Miss Proudfoot?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
To accompany my husband going back to work, and then I'm coming back.
Okay, when will you be back? Do you know yet?
No, not yet.
Are you concerned about being away while the search is ongoing?
Absolutely, I am.
Then why are you going?
Because my son could be anywhere, and we're looking everywhere and anywhere.
I've got a question for you.
Yes,
I want
ma'am.
to find out about Mr. Proudfoot hitting Sebastian with a belt. What happened?
That was actually several years ago, and it
To
was
Mr. Proudfoot.
one-
To Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Proudfoot, what happened?
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you were asking Katie.
Okay, we've all heard the Nancy Grace interview, and this video is going to be 6 hours long if I go through all of it. But I'm going to come back and I'm going to take clips of this video because there's things that I've seen in it that I'm going to use in an upcoming video that is about where the Proudfoots have spoken to people on camera. I'm going to do a video about that later. I want to try to find out what I know about Sebastian. So I'm going to quit sharing this particular channel, and then it shows that on May 17th, through YouTube News, post the link is in my description, but I'm still going to post it up here for fair use, copyright, all that. I don't want to get a copyright strike. Okay, so this says ride, vigil, and cookout planned for missing Sumner County teen Sebastian Rogers. This was May 17th, and it looks like there's a video here. Well, it looks like there's a commercial there. That's not what I wanted. Well, the video is not wanting to play. I guess we gotta wait 7 seconds for the commercial ad to get over. That's President Trump. That has nothing to do with Sebastian. Well, I guess since I did my research, YouTube, I guess that video is not available anymore. All right, so we'll switch and we'll go to this one that says that, boy, things just are not working right for me today. I'm sorry. Okay, this says, Father Sebastian Rogers' biological father plans more searches 3 months after teen disappears. This is by Caitlin Quisenberry on WKRN.com News. Sumner County, Tennessee, 91 days or nearly 2,200 hours have passed since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers was reporting missing from his family's home on February 26th before an Amber Alert was later released. Since then, search efforts and investigations have progressed in Sumner County. Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers, told News 2 the goal is the same as it was the first day he was reported missing, to find his son. Let's see where this link will take us, if it'll take us anywhere. It's not a video. So, well, we didn't learn anything from that. So, is this a video?
Vita Mahjong.
Vita Mahjong.
Vita Mahjong.
Vita Mahjong is the
We got a commercial. I'm so sorry. All it is a bunch of commercials. Okay. So Sebastian Rogers' father calls on FBI to take over the investigation. Rogers said every day is a day Sebastian could turn up. God's protecting him right now. He will bring him home, Seth said. We just have to look in the right places. He explained that he has kept Sebastian enrolled in school since February and will re-enroll him in the fall, hoping to have his son back by then. I need people to be positive, Seth said. Positive that we can find him. Positive that we can find him tomorrow. You know, I need people to keep the faith with me. I need people to continue to pray that we find him. And Seth, I don't know if you'll ever hear my video, but yes, there are a lot of us praying for you and dear Sebastian. As families all over the country spend time together at the park or on the lake this Memorial Day, Seth continues searching for his son by mapping out possible search routes. Private investigator continues search efforts for Sebastian Rogers 2 months after teen disappeared. Rogers said he would search the area for Sebastian. I apologize. With a close group of people this week. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office has continued to investigate, saying last Monday in part, while we cannot disclose specific details of the ongoing investigation, please be assured that we are leaving no stone unturned to resolve this case. We've been working closely with the various law enforcement partners, including the FBI, since the start of this case. Seth told News 2 that he will not allow his son's case to become a cold case as the search continues. When people stop looking, when people lose faith, it becomes a cold case. And I'm not going to lose faith, Rogers said. I think everything is helping to keep the faith. Everybody is helping to keep the faith. Keep the prayers strong. As investigations and searches continue, community members have kept Sebastian's name and face in the public eye through flyers, prayer vigils, and a motorcycle ride in his honor. Photos circulating on Not Missing Teen Sebastian's official site. Okay, apparently there was some pictures. Let's see if they'll come up. See, they're not showing any pictures of who the teen might have been, of who the person is that they're saying is not Sebastian. I wish we could see the picture to see what he looked like, what the person looked like. I mean, that is where the hope comes from, that maybe you just reach that one individual that has seen something. Sumner County Commissioner District 18 Don Schmidt said, "Do you consider your neighborhood to be bike friendly?" My neighborhood, no. But there are places in my town where you can bicycle ride. I know it had nothing to do with the case, but it was right there, so I answered it. Okay. "I'm looking for you, buddy," said Seth. "I'm looking for you, son. I'm not going to stop. Not until I find you. Not until you're back in my arms." Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, 15, was reporting missing on Monday, February 26th, Hendersonville, from the beach area in Hendersonville. Sebastian's description: the Amber Alert was issued February 26th, and it tells who you could contact. Okay, so the next page is the one that I clicked to from the last one. So we'll go there. This is from WKRN Channel 2 News. And it says, Sumner County, Tennessee, following a potential sighting of a teen at the center of missing persons investigation, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office has confirmed the child was not 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. Let's see where this link takes us. This is a timeline of Sebastian. I guess they're not going to show us the picture of the person that they thought might have been Sebastian. Okay, so we'll go back off of this. Okay. The photo began circulating on social media nearly 2 months after Sebastian was reported missing from his Hendersonville home off of Stafford Court on Monday, February 26th. I wish they would be consistent. Either he's in Beach or he's done something on Stafford Court. Where is he? The photo began circulating. Okay. Private investigator continuing search efforts for Sebastian Rogers 2 months after teen disappeared. To several people, including Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, the photo appeared to show a teen with very similar to Sebastian. I am so sorry. This cold has got me so down, and I took some Alka-Seltzer Plus right before I went live, and it's obviously kicking in. The photo appeared to show a teen very similar to Sebastian's description at a visitor center in North Carolina. However, after coordinated efforts with law enforcement agencies in North Carolina, the sheriff's office said Tuesday it had determined the child in the photo was not Sebastian. I believe I heard somewhere that Seth actually drove to North Carolina to see if he could lay physical eyes on this person and determine that it was not Sebastian. We understand the gravity of the situation and the concerns it has arised, the sheriff's office said in a news release. Our collaborated efforts with law enforcement agencies continue unabated as we remain committed to finding Sebastian. Several massive search efforts have been carried out since the teen with autism was reported missing, including one at Kentucky landfill where trash went from his home. However, all have been turned up empty. I saw a news clip right after I came into the case in late summer about, hello to whoever just came into chat. Please hit the thumbs up, even if you don't want to say hi. Or if you do want to say hi, I'll be happy to speak with you. So I saw the news clip, and it showed them at the landfill. And I couldn't understand why they only searched the landfill for one day. In the Quentin Simon case that I had came in from, I had just been watching the Quentin Simon case. They spent 2 weeks searching that landfill. They knew where the grid was, where the items from the dumpster he had been put in. They knew where that grid was, and they corded off that grid. They made their own plate. They took every piece of everything they could until they found the few little pieces of Quentin Simon that they were able to find. They spent 2 weeks. Why did they only spend one day at the landfill looking for Sebastian? I don't understand. Several massive search and efforts have been carried out since the teen with autism, since this teen was reported missing, including one Kentucky landfill where the trash went from his home. However, all have been turned up empty. And then it goes through a timeline of what we're going through right now. Okay, and the last part of this case that I want to bring up I don't know, I've got another screen here ready to pull up, but I don't know where it went. Okay. 100 days since Sebastian Rogers went missing, still no leads. That is so sad. My heart just breaks for his parents. On June 5th, 2024, let's play this.
Imagine decor that does more than just decorate your home. Feel better in your own space with felt.
Well, tonight, 100 days, still no answers in the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. The Sumner County boy vanished from his Hendersonville home back in February. His mother says that she went to wake up her teenage son, who's also autistic, and he wasn't in his bed. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation issued an Amber Alert, but there have been no credible sightings of that boy. To see all of our stories and reporting on the search, just go to fox17.com.
Oh man, this is going to be a day full of chaos.
Okay, so now we're going into flooding. So we're going to bring this back down. You can see pictures right here of Seth, and this is Seth and Sebastian, and there's Sebastian, and there's more photos. Sumner County, Tennessee. It's been 100 days since Sebastian went missing from his Hendersonville home. The 15-year-old boy is believed to have walked off in the middle of the night, according to his mother and stepfather, Katie and Chris Proudfoot. He was reported missing February 26, prompting the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation to issue an Amber Alert. More than 3 months later, there's still no trace of this young boy. Okay. This is a video from, this is not the night before Sebastian left. Oh, you can't see what I'm looking at. I'm sorry. Okay, I clicked a link to see if that would take us to I don't know what happened. I got the weather. Okay. Photo circulating online is not Sebastian Rogers. There, when I clicked this red link, it didn't take me to a picture of Sebastian. It took me to the picture of Sebastian and Katie sitting on the same side of the table at the Texas Roadhouse, and you could see a drink glass from across the table. So I'm presuming that's a couple of weeks or a couple months or whenever the last time they were at the Roadhouse as a full family. I don't know when the picture was taken, but it wasn't during the live that came out in November about the last known proof of life of Sebastian. Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, has made public calls for the FBI to take over the case and investigate it as a criminal matter. He also hired 2 private investigators to help find his son. Sumner County Chief Deputy Eric Craddock has said previously there has been no evidence of foul play, but that nothing is being ruled out. And that's the end of the story. So tomorrow I'm going to start trying to find that was all the information. June the 5th was all I could find for the month of June. I did see a couple of things for July. There's some for August. So I'm going to try to start after June 5th tomorrow and see how far we can go from there. So what do we know so far? Really, truly, we don't know a whole lot. We know they spent 1 day searching a landfill and didn't find anything. We know that Seth is still praying and asking for prayers and asking for support through our prayers and through our going out and being boots on the ground, helping him to try to find Sebastian. We know that the Proudfoots have left their home. I don't know if they're back home or if they're not back home from the case with where they were talking to Miss Nancy Grace. We know that Seth has planned more rides, but I don't know about during the winter time if there's going to be more searches or whatever, because this has been a pretty rough winter. The FBI investigator, that Heather Cohen, she said that Sebastian going missing is part of a domino effect for something. I don't know what domino effect it would be for. I don't recall what she said about that. I'll have to go back and listen to see what she said about that. And Crimeonline said that, okay, what I didn't show yesterday was a pair of glasses had been found on the side of the road in the Tennessee area there. And they were, according to Craddock, they were not Sebastian's. And then Crimeonline reported that there was a pair of pants found, but that they were not associated with Sebastian either. Then we had the 3-month update from WSM Channel 4 News that said that there were no new leads, but that the sheriff's department's not giving up looking. And we realized that as of June 5th, we were right around the 100-day mark. So, with that being said, do something nice for someone, even if it's just be the reason they smile. Thank you for being here. And tomorrow we'll start off in the middle of June or the first part of July. Have a great night.